Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is Sloth from S&M Radio, live and uncut, or V from MVTV, whichever you prefer to call me. I do not care. We are here today with Adam Schmidt. Did I get it right?
You did.
All right, I got it right. And we are deck teching his blue-white control deck that almost took him all the way he finished second in the Virginia Beach Classic. But we'll go ahead and have him regale us with the stories of why he finished second. And we're going to, like I said, cover the deck itself. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it to him now. Hello, Mr. Schmidt. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I got your shirt by accident, but we've got you on camera now.
All right. So pre the classic, I said I was going to play the red-white devotion deck. We played tested it Friday night, and I did really poorly. And I felt like the other devotion decks in the format were going to beat it outright because it has a really hard time dealing with master waves. So we audibled to a deck we put together that Friday before the classic. Michael Finney and myself decided on the list, and some of it's a little random, but it seemed to have worked out. And the fact that we decided to change decks when I played in the classic, I played blue-white, I played the blue-white control deck. I played against the mono-blue devotion deck 5 rounds.
Well, I mean, it is it's a heavy meta deck.
Right, and post-board, we have a really good matchup. Pre-board, we have a really good matchup. So anyway, we'll go into the deck.
I guess we'll start with the lower end of the mana curve.
We're playing 1 copy of Syncopate because the later you get it, the better. And it's okay early, but like in the middle of the game, it's not all that good. So there's 1 copy of Syncopate for the counter package, as you would call it. We're playing a copy of Psychonic Rift because early game it bounces things that give you a little bit of trouble. It deals with the Stormbreath Dragon. It'll give you another chance to counter it if you're tapped out. And late game you can overload and just completely blow them out. Now this one of right here, Elixir Mortality, was probably the best one of in the deck. It lets you shuffle your whole library back in, or your whole graveyard back into your library, and it gains you Fine Life, which is really relevant. This won me multiple games. This was a courtesy of Michael Finney. He actually suggested we play at main. He's right here, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't help with these two.
Celestial Flares are really good cards. We're playing mostly. We're not playing the Esper package. We're playing the blue-white control package.
And you're running 2 of those.
We are. It's not hard to hit double white. That also kills things like the Stormbreath Dragon you can't deal with, or like if they're hitting you with Mutavault. We're playing 1 copy of Essence Scatter. It's pretty standard. It counters the gods, which is
that's pretty
extremely relevant.
Yeah.
Azorius Charm, we only ever use 2 modes. We never give our creatures lifelink, or I never did. We're using it to dig deeper into the library or bounce things to give us another turn. Divination, it's just for consistent card draw. I found myself boarding out a lot of the times, but it's 3 mana draw 2 cards. We actually decided to play 4 copies of Dissolve because we wanted a really big counter package to deal with things like Whip of Erebos, Master Waves, Thassa, anything like that. We were having
the big problem.
Like anything we were having big issues with. It also lets you scry, which is digging further into the library, which is something we did a lot of. We decided to play 4 copies of Tension Sphere because the gods are really big right now, and it just deals with them completely. Also, it exiles things like Voice of Resurgence, which is a big deal, and gives us a really, really big problem playing the control deck. 4 copies of Sphinx's Rev. You get to gain X life, draw X cards, which we're digging and we're clawing ourselves out of a hole, which is extremely relevant for what we're playing. The 4 copies of Jace, it has the 3 modes. Early, you use it to dig to find your land drops or your verdicts or whatever you need to remove things. The -2 ability. The +1's relevant for the aggro matchups where they're playing a lot of like 1/1s because it just negates them. It also negates Elspeth tokens in the mirror, so that's really relevant. 4 copies of Supreme Verdict because who doesn't want to board white?
That's obligatory. That's not even a question.
So 1 of Aetherling. Aetherling is a problem for everybody to deal with once you play it, and it gets in for 8.
Yeah.
I actually boarded this card out a lot of times in the blue matchup, but we'll get to that later. Elspeth was my biggest win condition because it makes guys, and it kills guys. And it makes guys bigger.
Yeah.
The land base, we're playing 4... we're playing 4 of the Shocklands for the gates. 2 Mutavaults, which is another way to win because we're really, really slow rolling everyone and gaining life, and just lets us use our land base to attack them with. We're playing 7 islands and 6 planes. The 7 islands is because we're playing more blue. If you looked at everything else, then we are white. So that is the main deck.
Let's go ahead and move on to the sideboard, and you have a card that I completely love.
Okay, so
And I've wanted to use this card ever since, but I don't play white, so it's impossible.
this card, Debtor's Pulpit, it does say enchant land has tap target creature. Michael Finney suggested this card. We boarded in like 90% of the games we played. It taps down Aetherling and Thassa. And you can't brave it because it's the land. It's not the enchantment. Can't brave lands. Lands are colorless.
Yeah.
Okay. Divination.
Yeah.
Really what happened was when we put the deck together, we had 61 cards we built it the night before. So I just moved this to the board in the morning because we didn't need it. Celestial Flare for the aggro matchup, so you have more removal. Last Breath was really, really good.
That's a 2 of.
It is. In the aggro matchup, which is what I end up playing most of the day, it's really good against the mono blue. Negate obviously counters Planeswalkers and other counter spells for cheaper than for cheaper than we're gonna able to yeah.
And it gets the artifacts.
It does. It does get the weapons.
This is a feature.
Like Biden.
Yeah.
Pithing Needle, which is obvious. Usually you're going to board in Pithing Needle to stop Planeswalkers and Aetherling. So every time I boarded in Pithing Needle, my Aetherling came out. Render Silent was a card that we were just like, why not? I never really boarded it in, so it's just kind of a filler slot. Feel free to change this if you're going to play the deck. Gainsay is really good, especially in the blue mirrors, or the blue matchups which we played all day long. It just counters a blue spell.
Yeah. But that's really big.
It is, because the whole deck's
Let's
blue.
see. It gets...
it hits.
Yeah.
It hits everything.
How many hundreds of cards does it get that actually change the course of a game?
All of them. We have another Aetherling in the board just in case we really need to bring this in. This is for like when you play against like Esper and things like that, so you actually make sure you have your win condition because they play Downfall, which kills your walkers, which is another win condition you have. And then for the grindy matches, or the mono black devotion, you can bring this in and try to mill them out. So over the course of the day, we played the mono black splash green devotion. We won that by milling them with Jace. Then we played the mono blue. We boarded in the Gainsays, the Debtor's Pulpits, the Negates, the Last Breath, and Celestial Flares, and just stopped the aggro from happening. The last round before round 6, I played a green-white aggressive deck, so we boarded in kind of the same package, and he couldn't survive from Verdict after game 3 he couldn't recover from Verdict. Game 2, he played turn 1 Experiment 1, turn 2 Fleeceman Line, which evolved Experiment 1, so he swung for 2 on turn 2, and I had Gates in play. Turn 3, he dropped...
It's kind of hard to win starting on turn 3.
Turn 3, he dropped a Johnny Call of the Pride and minused and gave the 3/3 flying double strike. So he swung for like 8 on that turn, and there was just no recovering. So eventually we came back on in the next round. When we cut the top 8, I played against another local player here from our shop. His name is Lance. He was playing Mono Blue Devotion. I had beat him in Swiss, so I felt like really comfortable going to the matchup that I would win that. I won 2-1. The next round I played Oren Beasley, who was playing the white splash red aggressive deck. So we boarded in our removal package and all that stuff. He got game 1 in a relatively quick fashion. Game 2 actually took an hour and a half to finish. We cast Supreme Verdict 8 times that game, and we activated Elixir of Mortality twice.
That's special.
Yeah. And then for the finals, I was playing against the Mono Black Devotion. I got game 1, and game 2, he had 20 cards left in his library, and I just Hinge-Feared Erebos because I want to be able to gain life in case he played like a bunch of Ray Merchants. I didn't look down at his land base. He actually had 2 Underworld Connections in play. If I would have Hinge-Feared the Underworld Connections, I probably would have won the game because he drew like 20 cards off of them.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. I mean, if they gain card advantage, then it's kind of hard.
So that's basically what happened at the Classic.
Well, like in this.
I felt like the Underworld was a really good call, obviously.
I agree with you because I did not like the red-white devotion. I mean, it's a nasty deck, but it just at the metagame at a place like that is completely different from a place like
absolutely.
this.
Even then, like people were playing the decks they're going to be serious with. I had a really hard time Friday. So that's basically the deck and what happened at the Classic.
I mean, we're still very proud of you. I mean, yeah. I mean, second place at a huge event's really nice. And the money?
We
prize?
split first place. We both went home with $900.
That's he got the plaque though.
He did. He got the plaque.
Yeah.
In fact, here's another one of our top 8ers right here. There's Lance.
What's up, Lance?
So there you have it. So a special thank you to Michael Finney for helping me put together the deck
Thanks, Fanny.
and letting me borrow a bunch of the cards that I was missing.
That's yeah.
Thanks for the support.
All right, that's really about it. That was actually, I think that was a really good deck tech video. Like, subscribe, click links, whatever it is. We need all the support we can to keep bringing you the information to make you a better Magic player and make us better Magic players. That's at the end of the day, that's all we really want. But like I said, once again, this is Sloth signing out from S&M Radio, MVTV, what have you. Have a nice evening.